First, I want to give you like a brief introduction about Town. I think most of you are familiar, but there are always some people register who are not familiar. I don't know, they don't know the complete thing about Town. Just take 2 minutes to introduce Town to you all. And okay, can you see the screen? Okay. Yeah. Town, the parent company is called Inno Concepts. We started the business in 1992 to market a specialty kitchen equipment for the North America. And we just named the company first as Concepts because we wanted to do something innovative, not a Me Too products. And then we started searching for what to sell and what to market. So it took us, few years to find what we needed to market. So we started trading specialty food processing machines. This was used for the South Indian cooking. So it was a small segment of people in USA with the Indian origin. They were using these machines, and then over the years when we started selling, more and more people bought, and we always followed up with the customers to ask what they are using it for, especially when we see some names that we don't recognize, it doesn't look like an Indian name. We asked them and everybody said they were using for a different purposes. And then when the recession hit in 2007 2008, we had to pivot. So we went through the list of things, what people are using, and we wanted to know where we can focus. Then we looked at it. The one thing we caught our interest was there are two or three people, they said they are using it for chocolate, but they had to be MacGyvers. They had to modify the machine because this grinder for South Indian use, we use it for half an hour a batch or 20 minutes a batch, and two batches, one for rice and one for lentils, and then we use twice a week. But these people, they had to use it for 2 to 3 days so that the chocolate can grind to the 15 microns. So we said, okay, we should focus in there, so where we can make more positive social impact. So we always wanted to have sustainability in environment, business, and agriculture. The environmental sustainability, we always use only high quality stainless steel and minimum plastic parts. And even the boxes, still we use only like a brown box. We don't use the printing and all those expensive things because we are trying to be uh, you know nice to the environment. And then the business, we want to make sure not just us, our customers also should be sustainable in their business. So whatever help they need, we have to provide to making them sustainable. And then agricultural, because we learned before Town came in, only the big companies could make the chocolate in tons and tons, and the farmers were selling in commodity prices, and they were not getting the compensation what they deserved. But now, when more and more people started making the bean to bar, they have a direct relationship with the farmers, and they pay a lot more than what's the commodity price. And also, they're teaching the farmers to make chocolate, they encourage them. So, a lot of farmers are also becoming chocopreneurs. In the coffee industry, they say the coffee farmers cannot afford to drink coffee, but I think Town played a role in changing the paradigm in the cocoa industry to show that people, even the cocoa farmers, they can not only eat chocolate, they can make chocolate, and they can decide their own income level. And then this is the small timeline of Town through the years. So in 1994, we started marketing the wet grinders. In 2007, we had the commercial grinders for the restaurants. And then in 2009, we registered the name Town to differentiate between the Indian grinders and the chocolate milk grinders, because the Indian grinders, as I said, they just work for 20 minutes. Whereas this one is like a workhorse. People who bought in 2006, 2007, they are still using it with the minimum maintenance. And then we also have the patents for our machines. And now in 2020, again, we had to pivot. We now, earlier it was just the sales were coming through referrals. But then in 2020, we focused more on marketing. When we learned a lot of things on marketing, we said we have to take this to the other people in the industry, because we are in US, we were fortunate to have the government support. But there are a lot of countries, like for example in Philippines, I think almost 1.5 years, more than 1.5 years, they are in lockdown and people are struggling. So that's why we brought this educational webinars and industry webinars, that people can learn from each other, and have the they can stay in business, make it sustainable. So we are hoping that the world will open up soon, and then people all over the world, they can have the normal life and then meet friends and family face to face. We will have the virtual connections in continually, but also we want to make sure we also have a chance to meet people and visit the farms, and help everyone. So we always end our session with Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. That means may all the beings everywhere in the universe be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom to all. Thank you all for joining today. And now Teresa will take over.
Great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Balu. Will you do me a favor and keep an eye on the waiting room? Yes. Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna just do just a little bit of housekeeping. Welcome everyone. Feel free to turn on your camera or not, whatever your comfort level is. Just to keep some order, and this may change as we see how it goes. But if you see at the bottom of the screen, there's a reactions section that has a raise hand feature. We'll just start out and see how that works. If you have a comment or you want to share something, we'll just use that feature. And then if everyone would be so kind to, it doesn't seem to be an issue right now. I don't hear any feedback, but sometimes if you're off mute, there'll be some feedback. So if you'll just stay on mute, if you would. And then we would love it if everyone will stay to the end. We have a little something special at the end. We understand if you can't, but we would love it if you could. I think that's it for housekeeping. Mrs. Balu, did I cover all the housekeeping points?
Just one more thing, people who came recently, ask them to say that where they are from, so that
Yes, if everyone, if you would like, just put your name, where you're from in the chat. We like to see that from everyone, and we know where, if we don't know you, there are some familiar names and places, so we familiar names and faces, so we know where you are from. But if there are people joining for the first time, we love to know where you're signing in from. And with that, Mrs. Balu, do you want to start, or would you like me to continue?
you can continue. Sorry, I was on mute.
Sure. Okay, so we have just a little itinerary, and like I said, about some other things. We'll see how things go, and maybe we'll stick to the itinerary, and maybe we won't. But we've reserved a little time in the beginning for anyone that wanted to practice their elevator pitch. We talked about elevator pitch at our last networking event, and some folks came prepared with their little 30-second elevator pitch. So we can start right now. If anyone would like to give us their elevator pitch about their company or what they're doing, you just use that raise hand feature or come on video, and we will make some time and space for you to practice your elevator pitch.
Teresa, maybe to break the ice, maybe should we ask everyone to turn on their camera and just say who they are, where are they from?
Want to try that? We can do that. I'm happy to do that. I'm excited. I'm like a kid in a chocolate store when I see all these sort of rock stars of the industry. I'm a little giddy, so that will take the heat off of me. I saw Dr. Ogata was joining. So if you'll turn on your camera, or we'll just go around, you can open up your mic and just say hi and who you are and where you're from and what do you do?
I'll go first if nobody else does. So my name's Nick. I am in Jamaica. Hi, Lynn. Good to see you. Long time. Good to see everybody else as well. I'm a chocolate maker. The name of my company is 11 Cacao. It comes from, well, the name comes from a Jamaican proverb. Actually, it's not Jamaican. Afi would disagree with me because it's common within the English-speaking Caribbean, and the proverb in its entirety is 11 cocoa, full basket. 11 cocoa, full basket. What that means is 11 cocoa bean at a time, 11 cocoa pod at a time. Little by little, we fill our basket. Little by little, we achieve our goals in life. And that's something which we're very common and used to here in the Caribbean. So we make bean to bar chocolate. We've been using Cocoa Town pretty much from the very start, because I remember seeing the Baloo's demonstration, and they were the only company who were using a chocolatier chocolate maker of color. And I was like, oh my God, that person looks like me. That's amazing. And so I decided that I was going to buy their equipment. And also, I think you got a good recommendation from someone from the Academy of Chocolate, or the Cocoa of Excellence, Ed Sagween, I think, had also sort of commended your machinery. So I was like, well, if these guys are doing it, I'm doing it. And I've been buying Cocoa Town ever since. And we've been making award-winning chocolate, and hopefully we'll continue to do so into the future. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Nick.
Well, I can always go next. I mean, I'm really appreciative of this initiative, really. Affily George, better known as Afi, from the Caribbean island of Dominica. That's where I am at right now. I'm also a chocolate maker. I do cocoa sticks, which is something more locally accepted or known. And I'm using the Abbey Mélanger that a friend of through the our collective initiative, the Cross Atlantic Movement. I acquired it through that movement, and from then it has been a real good experience, you know, using that Mélanger. And thankful to my friend I'm seeing here from 101 Chocolate, Cacao, who facilitated that whole for me acquiring that thing, the Mélanger. So that's it in a nutshell. I kind of been in cocoa for a while, maybe from childhood, you know, growing up, knowing my grandparents doing the cocoa sticks and tea, more or less, and as a food generation kind of transcended into chocolate making. So I'm here to experience everything. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Hi
Yes.
everyone. I'm Emily Drani. I'm from Uganda, and my brother and I just started recently to experiment with chocolate making, and this was with the influence and the encouragement from the Cross Atlantic Collective, where Afi and Nick are members. So I'm really happy that Afi said, you know, get onto this, listen to this. This is really interesting. And we also got super excited to actually get some really smooth and fine quality chocolate. We are in about 27 kilometers from the capital city, Kampala. Yeah, so I'm really happy to be on platforms where they're experienced chocolate makers, but also people who are very experienced with equipment and, you know, getting along faster than the people who started in the 60s and the 70s and 80s. And in Africa, of course, this is really innovative because we just sell the cocoa, we don't make it. We don't make chocolate. So this is really nice for me. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Sorry.
Thank you, Emily. Welcome.
Thank you.
If you want to put your social media handles and your email or any way that people here can contact you. Thank you, Lynn, for making that suggestion. You could put that information in the chat so that the networking and connection can go beyond this time and space.
Hey everyone, I'm Lynn Bishop and I'm here in Panama. I planted my first cacao tree in 2011. And in the last 3 years, I've been creating bean to bar chocolate on a very small micro scale, maybe 20 to 50 bars a week, but it's really wonderful. I've just started a chocolate club and I'm shipping to the United States. I'm very excited about that. So I'm here in Panama, and I think that finally we're starting to be known for cacao, and I'm really excited about it because it's been something that's been in everybody's backyard for ages, but people haven't known what to do with it besides just suck on the delicious seeds. So I'm Lynn from Quetzal Cacao in Panama. It's lovely to meet you all.
Thank you, Lynn. We've had a few people join from the waiting room. So just to catch them up, we're just going around and introducing ourselves. So if anyone who's just joined would like to come on camera or just unmute yourself and say hi and who you are and where you're from, a little bit about what you do.
I think Jose wanted to go, I think.
Sorry.
Jose, you can go.
I can wait. Ladies first.
No, please do.
Well, hi, my name is Jose Miguel. Originally, I come from Mexico, the south part in the border with Guatemala, in Chiapas state. So my family used to do chocolate for generations, but this other kind of chocolate is a very rustic one, a Mexican style. And so for later on, I moved here to Washington State a long time ago. And I tried to rescue this tradition from my family here. And I start to make in a micro portions. I mean, I tried to start or launch a business. Unfortunately, the pandemic stopped me totally. But I do. I was doing bean to bar chocolate, a single origin, the cacaos from Las Americas, different countries of Las Americas, and well, I'm in the road again. I would like to continue doing this now. The situation is changing, so hopefully I will be with you, the chocolate makers, again. What I want to say something that 3 years ago I bought a roaster, a cacao roaster from Chocotown in Seattle, Washington, and it's working great. I mean, I just love the way that you are being working and how you involve in this activity. So I was completely surprised and said, okay, I'm going to want to be part of your team. I want to be part of this history, you know, to make bean to bar chocolate and also single origin, and that's my goal, you know. So hopefully I will make it this time. Thank you.
I am Lucia Sandy. I'm from the Caribbean island of Dominica, and I just started the work with the cocoa beans. I was a member of the cocoa cluster in Dominica because we are trying to revitalize the cocoa industry, which was decimated by after the passage of Hurricane Maria in 2017. So, and I believe that we needed to expand our product development. We will really focus mainly on the cocoa sticks for making hot chocolate, local hot chocolate. So right now I am making an instant chocolate block. So it still have the same tradition, local tradition. One can boil the cocoa blocks, or one can simply add hot water to it to dissolve it. And additionally, I am into the chocolate bars, from bean to bars. And like Jose, I am interested in the single origin. And I'm working on the dark chocolate, but the people the natives, we like sweet stuff. So the dark chocolate, it's a bit difficult to for the palate. They be more like the milk chocolate. So I have doing some product development on the dark chocolate, and I'm trying to settle down on a formula. So that's where I am.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thanks.
Anyone else want to come through? Open your mic, turn on your video, introduce yourself.
I see Arcelia. Arcelia, you want to go?
Let's see. Hi, everyone. I have good morning. I'm Arcelia. I'm from Mission Chocolate in Brazil, and I make chocolate bars from bean to bar. I originally started making chocolate with Dandelion Chocolate in San Francisco, and I moved to Brazil to be closer to the cocoa producer. And here I have been 6 years making chocolate. And the goal eventually is to open Mission Chocolate Los Angeles, Mission Chocolate Shanghai, Mission Chocolate maybe London. And so currently we are in Brazil, but our plan always is to grow. And like the other two mentioned, for me, cacao at origin and drinking chocolates are a very huge part of what we're trying to do. And so as everyone knows, it's a challenge teaching people to just drink cacao instead of chocolate. But I think that we are all doing a really good job of teaching the world how to do this. And thank you, Cocoa Town, for having these. They're really educational. I love being part of them. And I would love to teach a class with you again. And
Yes, Arcelia, we look forward to it. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, we could not do last 2 years. Hopefully next year. Otherwise, we are also thinking maybe we should do at least like a webinar format, like a
of
virtual.
course, I think the world needs a little bit of education on good chocolate and good equipment.
Right. So maybe now we are hoping 2022 will bring people in person. We can meet each other with all the vaccinations. We are keeping our fingers crossed to have some in-person training next year. A lot of people are waiting, especially from Cameroon and Uganda. The people are keep emailing me. When are you going to have the Bean to Bar workshop? So let's work on this after this webinar, Arcelia.
Arcelia, I just want to plant a seed. Mission Chocolate Atlanta.
Okay, that'll be number 2 in the US.
We have an international airport, so. And me, who wants some Two Rivers chocolate.
Of course, I'll put it on the list.
And then Dr. Ogata, would you like to go?
And Mrs. Balu is doing it a little different. I was trying not to call people out, but.
Nobody is coming, so I have to call people out so that we don't sit here quietly.
I can go just for people that are new and haven't been to our webinars before. I'm Teresa Grant and I work for Cocoa Town, and I'm part of your Empowering Chocopreneurs team. Mrs. Balu and I partner in facilitating these webinars, and I'm also a lover of bean to bar chocolate. So like I said, I'm like a kid in a chocolate store. It's wonderful to see people from every stage of business, from brand new to some heavy hitters in the industry. So I don't normally get starstruck, but sometimes it happens.
Yeah, Vasu raised his hand.
Okay, come on in. You can turn on either unmute and turn on your video or whatever comfort level.
Hi, all. My name is Srinivas. I live in California. I try not to start video. I'm still at my bedroom on my bed. It's silly. So yeah, I'm inspired by Cocoa Town mission of empowering farmers, like making them self-help them and producing their high quality beans and tasting their own chocolate or making their own chocolate. This concept, basically, I'm from the farmers family. We produce cocoa. I think they are high quality cocoa. My goal is to make the high quality chocolates there in India. At the same time, I would like to market my chocolates. I would like to bring the chocolates from India to here and market here. And it's a new avenue actually. You can always try new flavors, new taste, all that's right. So I really feel that there is a lot of potential the beans produce on some places in India. So that is one of my goal of becoming the Cocoa Town family.
Thank you.
You want to go in alphabetical order, Teresa?
Oh, you're going to put them all on the spot, Mrs. Butler?
I don't see.
We give the oh, you went to mute. We'll give this time and space. And I know being a shy person, I wouldn't want to come on if if I wasn't ready.
But see, the thing is, this is empowering Chocopreneurs. If you are not comfortable with the friends, here we are all friends here, okay? So you have to market your company to strangers. That's how you can grow. That's the
Yes.
reason we are having this webinars. That's why we are putting on you spotlight. So don't think that we are making you uncomfortable. But as a business owner or a business person, you should talk about yourself. Like they say, if you don't talk about yourself, who is going to talk about you? So please feel free to talk about you. That's why we want to go in alphabetical order and bring everyone and then let them talk.
Okay. All right. Well, we've heard from the A's there. So let's see. Christian, Aldana, would you like to share who you are and what you do?
Sure. I'm from Colombia. Right now, I'm experimenting with cocoa, making chocolate at home and with infusions. And my plan is to open my factory and to export to Europe and Asia. But I'm in the first phase. So yeah, I saw the invitation and I thought about it, and why not?
Wonderful. Thank you. We're glad you're here.
When you say, you can also tell your company name, that will be good. If you already have a product, make sure to tell your company name, because we are recording this video and then we are going to put in our website. It's going to be there forever. So it'll be, think about this as one of your marketing video, because people will be watching it and your name will be there. So feel free to give as much information about your company and your brand.
Coral, would you like to come forward and share where you're from, what you're doing, maybe why you're here?
Yeah, one more thing. If you are not comfortable in English, you are welcome to speak in Spanish. And Arcelia, can we ask your help to translate it?
Yes, I can do English and Portuguese and Spanish for sure.
All right. How about Emilio from Equatorial Guinea? Would you like to come on?
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Hello. Okay. Thank you for inviting me here. You really do speak Spanish here, but I'll try in English so that everybody can understand. So I'm from Equatorial Guinea. For who that may not know, it's a small country located between Cameroon and Gabon in Central Africa. And myself, I'm very passionate about the chocolate industry. This country is traditionally recognized in the past by exporting cocoa. So our economy used to be based on cocoa exports. But recently, the productions did dropped dramatically because of lack of technical skills and in many management aspects. But still, we still produce cocoa here, and one of the good cocoas of the world. And I work in a government, but I also have these aspirations to become. I have business idea concerning the cocoa to produce chocolate, because one of the problem we've got here is that the cocoa, since it is still it's produced here, but it's still exported as a raw material. So one of the ideas I am promoting from the Ministry of Agriculture is that the cocoa can be also processed by the small farmers, and then they can create by themselves kind of alternate source of income, while also selling the cocoa beans. And in another part, as I told you, I'm also very interested on doing cocoa, but there is not very we don't have the good equipment and I mean the means to build up a very bit good, let's say, processing factory which can produce good cocoa but also cheap. So I've got a colleague which is who is from Mexico, Dr. Nisao. He's the one that directed me to this platform. And since I have been following the programs when I have time, and actually I find it very interesting for me, and I'm learning a lot. So I just hope that maybe in future, some of you guys that have been in this business for a long time can maybe help me here, whether it's technical support or maybe by investing here, because we have good cocoa. Also, maybe buy some cocoa from Equatorial Guinea. So that is why I'm here, and hope to get good things here.
Thank you. Welcome. Let's see. I see Marilyn Scott. Would you like to open your mic, turn on your video and share?
I'll open my mic. I'm an artisan baker in Chicago. I do a lot of sourdough breads, and I'm getting into the idea of making my own chocolates to introduce into my breads, because I have a deep dark chocolate bread that I want to produce. I was interested in coming down to Cocoa Town to go through the process of learning to do the bean from the cocoa, produce the cocoa from bean to bar. But I had an accident in 2019 and everything had to stop because I tore both of my rotating cuffs. And then I got ready to start back in 2020. Of course, COVID hit. So now I'm getting back into doing my production, and I want to get back into producing my own chocolate. So I've been watching all of the videos, and I've been very much inspired by the different countries that are doing their chocolates, you know, from bean to bar. And next year, this is what I plan to do, and to start working with some of the equipment that they have at Cocoa Town.
Thank you, Marilyn, for sharing. We're glad that you're in a position to begin your journey again. And you combine my two favorite things, chocolate and bread. Okay, so if I move down the list, Nelson, would you like to open your mic and share who you are? And
hello. Yeah,
hi, welcome.
Yeah, I'm Nelson, a cocoa farmer from Ghana, and I'm also a chocolate maker, because I've just started making my own chocolate for my own beans about 3 months ago. Yeah, I have a 5 kg grinder and some chocolate mold from what do you call it? From Belgium, yes. So I've been trying to join this program or seminar, but it's like sometimes the time frame is not favorable to me. So I try to join today. I'm just here to make be friends with those already in the chocolate field, so that I can learn a lot more about making chocolate, because I'm interested to I'm interested in chocolate from the origin, right? So that's why I joined here. So it's like I'm happy to meet all of you here. I am the owner for Shahamana Farms and Chocolate. That's my company, Shahamana Farms and Chocolate. Yes. So nice meeting all of you here.
Thank you. Thank you, Nelson. Okay, I see what, maybe, let's see, did I get everyone? Ilana just came in. Ilana, would you like, or Ileana, would you like to come on and say hello, introduce yourself? And if you want to speak in Spanish or Portuguese, we have someone who can translate. Okay.
Actually, can you translate it in Spanish, what Teresa said?
Ileana is signing in from Ecuador.
Ileana, buenos días. Si gustas, perdón, es que sorry, but I have so much sound, external sound one moment ago, but I can translate to Ileana. Ileana, nos preguntan qué te pareció el video, a qué te dedicas y cómo te motivó. Si quieres, yo te puedo traducir un poquito.
Buenos días. Bueno, Eliana es mi hija y yo soy Ángel Ramírez, el papá de Eliana. Yo tengo una pequeña fábrica de chocolates acá en Ecuador, justamente con las máquinas de Cocoa Town. Tengo una pequeña grinder de 3 kilos y una de 40 kilos. Hemos desarrollado ricos chocolates en base al cacao fino de aroma. El video me pareció espectacular. Siempre estoy pendiente a las reuniones de ustedes. Cuando avanzo a entrar, entro de una. Me gusta esta comunidad de Cocoa Town.
Okay. Ileana is the daughter of this man, and he is from Ecuador. I have a lot of machines of Cocoa Town and doing chocolates of fine aroma, fine flavor, sorry, fine flavor. And he's ever in this community, and like this, and like these conversations, because he learned so much about that.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Okay, from the list, I think I got everyone, but if not, if I missed anyone, feel free to open your mic, come on video. I think I got everyone. Dr. Ogata, I see your hand is up. Please come forward. Turn on your camera, your mic, whatever, however you feel comfortable. We'd love to hear from you.
Hi, my name is Nisao Ogata, and I would like to open the dialogue to explore with all of you the opportunity to see if there could be any chance to organize among all the cocoa producers, trying to make consciousness about the need for helping the producers of the raw materials. Because as you know, there are around 5 million people, from which more than 90% of them are small producers who are receiving around $1 a day per the work they do. So if you anyway need to use cocoa for your chocolates, I would like to open this dialogue to try to see if there could be a network where you producers can start getting in touch with these small producers and try to offer better conditions, because you must know that the cacao production is a community, it's a family work where all the small producers, all those who doesn't have money, are doing their best so that you can get the raw materials. And you are part of this huge industry that produces more than $120 billion a year. And my message is try to open the dialogue among you. For example, I am seeing people from Panama or from the Caribbean islands who I bet they will have to get seats somewhere. Well, try to make an alliance with small producers and talk with them and try to share the profits, not in the only purpose of business by business by business by business, but try to give back some of the profits to the small producers that are in a big need. This year, for example, in Mexico, the production has been delayed and because of the climate change. And now it seems to be that the production is going to start by January. It just started these days. So it delays at least 1 month. So things are changing. And I think we are in the need to contribute some way. We have people in Ghana. In Ghana, the president, Akufo-Addo, already tried to set better conditions for their farmers, and the big companies such as Hershey and Mars and all of them, they decided to not give a plus for their cacao. So who is then going to help these people? I think we should do some effort to help and try to contribute to the small farmers who are in a very big need. That's all, and I hope this message can be taken in a good way, and I will be more than happy to help in any way that we can do here from the University of Veracruz in Mexico. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ogata. So you kind of turned our itinerary upside down. We wanted to have an open discussion about any industry topics kind of near the end. But like I said at the beginning, we're flexible, and you know, you've posed actually many questions. So I open it up to the people, the participants that are here. Anyone want to speak to Dr. Ogata's points? I know there were many, so just, you know, kind of clarify what you'd like to speak to. If anyone would like to come forward. I see, Nick, you opened your video.
Yeah, I mean, I would just like to say that, you know, I'm here with a couple of members from the Cross Atlantic Chocolate Collective. One of the things which we're trying to do, many of us, all of us are from countries which are cocoa producers, as other people like to call it, origin countries. The problem is we can't keep exporting our beans and expect things to change. The only way we're going to do that is by adding value adds to what we do. And we need to do that en masse. Either we use our chocolate production as a way for people to be able to see the quality, which means that people then start paying the farmers more. So we're basically an entry point into them to be able to realize that there are great beans coming from other places, apart from the established importers of beans, especially for craft bean to bar chocolate, or we make amazing award-winning chocolate and we take our we have the beans, as I always say, we take our great beans, we turn it into chocolate, and we take the fights to the markets which are buying. And we put in the fact that there needs to be a living wage differential in as part of our prices and make that a unique selling proposition. Because otherwise it just becomes academic, Doctor. There's not really, we can talk about how we want to make a change until the cows come home. Unless we start doing things practically right here, right now, today, that's not going to happen. And lots of people say that these are very small little movements which we're trying to do. But I think Emily, who's here, Afi, who's here, working with Cocoa Town, we're doing something. And doing something is a move towards making things happen, I honestly believe. So that's my tuppence. I'd be interested to hear what other people have to say.
Thank you, Nick. Nelson, I see you opened your video. Would you like to join the conversation?
Yes, as Nisao, or what was the name, Ogata, he said, it's true, because we the farmers, we get a penny for our beans. And as he said, the president of Ghana said he's putting in place some measure that will help the farmers. It's true, but sometimes I have to be honest, not all that is say to the international world is true, right? Because even the conditions we are facing here, it's very horrible. And even to get a chance or to send a sample of beans to maybe somewhere in Europe, you have to pay a whole lot of money, right? I think last week, I sent 5 kg sample of beans to a friend in Canada, and I have to pay it was almost $200, right? So it's like sometimes whatever they say to the international world, to me here, I don't believe it, because what they say is different from what is going on in the country. So what he was saying is true. We have to team up, and the producers, especially we in Africa, we have to maybe come together and team up, and maybe sometimes we can do something to help ourselves instead of relying on the politicians and the leaders. That's what I can say for now.
Thank you, Nelson. Everyone that would like to be connected, we said in the beginning, but we've had people join since then. Feel free to put your contact information in the chat and we'll make it available. You can copy it out of the chat while you're here or at the end, or when we send out the follow-up email, we can make that contact information available so that you can all connect beyond this time and space. Okay, I see Dr. Balu has come on, and then next we'll hear from Emilio. So Dr. Balu, do you want to add something to the dialogue?
Good morning, I am Balu from Cocoa Town. Let me introduce myself. I was waiting for, as soon as I heard that Ogata said that statement, I was going to bring Nick Davis into the stage, because I know he has been actively involved in promoting an idea of forming some kind of co-op. I know the farmers cooperative we talked about, but he had an idea of chocolate makers co-op. So the chocolate makers get together and then they should buy them together. So he is working on some plans. I don't know, maybe we can ask David to come back again and talk about his vision on forming chocolate makers co-op. Before I do that, I think the world is constantly changing. I mean, we heard from um, Ghana that he paid about $200 to sell 5 kilograms. Yes, it's tough, but we have to look at what was the situation in Ghana 4 or 5 years ago. People cannot even make their own chocolate. They make their own beans. They cannot make their own chocolate. Things are changing. Little bit at a time. Some places it changes faster. Some places changing slower, but it's happening. Just let's all, like you said, let's get together and raise your voice, and people will hear. It's a question of time. And then I see a new trend. Yesterday, I was talking to a customer in New York, and I was asking him, how is our winnower doing? Is doing everything okay? And he said, Balu, I'm not using your winnower. I was wondering what happened. He said, I'm getting lips from I'm getting lips. Then he explained to me that he is getting lips from the origin country. So the origin country, the whole uh, dynamics of the how the grab chocolate work with the chocolate maker is constantly changing. So as long as you look at the new ways you can make your product more valuable, there is an opportunity. I think we should all work together, keep our eyes open, talk to each other, and keep the communication, and then just look for the change. Can Nick, then can I ask you to come back again and tell me your what you have done with the chocolate makers co-op? Is Nick there?
Sorry, was that to me, Dr. Balu?
Yeah, I remember. In one of the Clay Gordon seminar, you were talking about chocolate makers co-op.
Yeah, it goes along to
Nick, you have to unmute.
Oh, sorry.
No, he's unmute.
Okay.
I can hear him.
I think it goes across to the issue which the speaker before me was talking about, in terms of, as a farmer, he's taking all of the economic pressure to be able to get his beans to Canada. And I think that we're often looking for great beans as chocolate makers, especially in like the global north, if you're in the US or Canada or the UK or in Europe. So why not be a cooperative? Why not look at the opportunity of bringing in beans as a group of people, working as a cooperative to make it easier for small farmers to be able to get their beans to you, share the costs of importing beans in as a group, look at the possibility of even processing your beans within these producer countries to your personal roast profile, and then shipping in liquor as a way of being able to raise the money which is going to be within country, rather than basically doing the system which literally we know doesn't make a huge amount of difference, which is taking beans from one part of the world to another. So that's the idea which I had in place. I don't know if anybody understands what I'm trying to say, but I'm just saying that we can do a lot if you're in a global north country to make it easier for small farmers, to empower small farmers. That's the point. Thank you, Dr. Balu.
Thank you, Nick, for coming back and talking to us about that. Emilio, would you like to come? You left video, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to join the dialogue.
Just a few things. I think we might start by saying that I think everything we can be doing is at the end is for people, is to help, right? And I just want to add something on what Dr. Anissa Ogata said, that mentioned about empowering small farmers. As I have said, in my country, I think it's the same problem that is happening in other developing countries, where raw material, in the case of coca, is being exported, and the money at the end goes more for people that are upstream of the business, but the farmers themselves are not being able to take the chance to get more value of what they do. And one of the problems is the adding value. And what I find interesting of Coca Towns is that you have the technology, the process, which is cheaper to do chocolate. And I think if farmers can get this technology which is cheaper, I think can be a very big step to help them in producing some additional income for their production, because the very big problem is that with farmers, they don't have the money, the amount of money enough to set up processing industry. But with the approach of Coca Towns, which actually impressed me a lot, which is that we can do chocolate in a cheaper way. I think that could be a very big opportunity for local farmers to produce themselves and to sell. Like here in my country, we have big market of chocolate, so we consume a lot of chocolate, but it's mostly imported. But now, if themselves they can produce it, could be a very important for them. And I think it could be an opportunity for chocolate, for Coca Town to tap into this business, to sell this small machinery which is cheap for farmers around the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Emily, I see you have your hand raised. Would you like to come off mute and join the dialogue? And we see you. Wonderful. Emily, we're not able to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I was just saying that this conversation is very valuable, especially for starters like ourselves. One of the things that I found, because we've just got into the chocolate making business, is that it's quite complex and it's almost political. And the competition from others who are, more mature in the business is quite stiff. And for a long time, especially in Africa and in Uganda, where chocolate making has not been the norm, what we have is the production of cocoa beans, which are exported. But the processing and the eating of chocolate has actually not been something for the local people who produce the cocoa beans. And so now changing the attitude towards the makers of chocolate, but also the consumers of chocolate, will require a fair amount of sensitization and getting people to understand that it is possible for the producers of the beans to actually make the chocolate. And I think the main issues that would be facing are issues of quality. And, the cost of production is so high. If it wasn't for the cross-Atlantic and, of course, Cocoa Town, even accessing a melange in Uganda is just literally impossible. So it's really it's such an advantage to be part of a collective where you have people who are experienced, who are willing to share and willing to help, but also willing to pass on technology. Because many of the people who actually grow the cocoa beans have never tasted the chocolate, even on our farm. So, getting people to understand this is something that we can do. We do the fermentation, we do the drying, and everything else, then you put it in a bag and send it off to someone else to make the chocolate. So why can't we finish the whole process and then sell our chocolate? And the idea is for not only having access to money, but also having access to a product that is healthy and it's an alternative to tea and coffee, which we grow in Uganda. So I think there's a lot of value in being in a collaboration, especially with the more experienced chocolate makers, the people who are more experienced in the machinery, which can help communities to start, cottage industries and the like. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Emily. Okay.
Question.
Oh, yes, please.
Yes, a question for Emily. She mentioned an association is cross-Atlantic, you said?
Yes, myself, Nick, and Afi are part of a collective of the cross-Atlantic the chocolate makers who are interested in promoting chocolate that's made by people of color. And in Africa, we're maybe about 7 or 8 countries are involved, as well as those in the Caribbean and the UK. So we're putting our efforts together to try and work on producing quality chocolate and making this accessible to communities in our countries. But we can provide the link if you're interested.
Sure, thanks much.
Very good. Okay, I see Dr. Balu has come back on video and Dr. Ogata has his hand raised as well. So Dr. Ogata and Dr. Balu, come on.
Yeah. What I would like to, I'm sorry, go ahead, Dr. Ogata.
Okay, the idea is precisely this: try to make a network, because all the people who already have the Cocotown machinery can make alliances with people who only have the possibility to make produce the raw materials. And in this way, if a network is made, as a sort of different brands of chocolates can be produced under the same initiative. And if to this we add extra values, see, for example, that you make sure that a certain amount of the chocolates that people is buying is going directly to the small farmers who are cultivating. And if to this we add the extra values, such as doing on a conservation biology way of doing the agroforestry systems, and having a control process of fermentation and things like that, the prices of the end product will rise. And the other important thing that I see here is that there is people, for example, in the big market like the United States, that can basically associate through this network. And the other important thing that the other person said before is that the equipment doesn't need to be in the United States. If there is an alliance, the equipment like the one you built can be in the communities. And in this way, you train people, you make money, and you make conservation biology. But this will happen if and only if we organize like in this type of networks that has no intention to compete with Mars or Nestle, because there is a niche for this kind of initiatives where I am sure there is a consumer willing to pay for a chocolate that is made under social and economic good reasons and under a conservation biology program. That is my idea of bringing this initiative.
Thank you, Dr. Ogata. Dr. Balu?
Let me make use of this opportunity to share a couple of things we are doing in Cocotown. One, I mean, we certainly recognize the need for machines by the remote countries, cocoa growing countries. Informally, we have been helping several farmers to acquire the machines. The problem we have is that we don't know really who needs it. Sometimes the squeaky the wheel gets the grease. So it's hard for us to figure out exactly who really need that. So we do have a program to subsidize the machines for farmers. As long as we have a certain budget every year to subsidize the machines for the farmer. As long as we have some kind of a recommendation from fellow chocolate makers. Like for example, if somebody in the Choco of Excellence program, I mean organizer, if they recommend, okay, now I'm Balu, I know these people, they really deserve that. I think how can you help? We do help, but the condition that the help has to be a joint venture. So we subsidize. They have to have enough interest, commitment to show it to us that yes, I mean they are putting their skin on the game. As long as we are convinced by endorsed by a couple of other chocolate makers. Yeah, I know them. Please help. So we do that. When we went to the Salon de Chocolate in Paris, We met a chocolate maker. He introduced me to a farmer and a co-op, and then how he's working with them and how he's helping them. When we get an endorsement like that, definitely it helps us to, motivate to help them out. So let us know if any of you are really interested in getting our machines, and show that you also equally contribute to the cause, and let a couple of chocolate makers, if you know, endorse them that. We will definitely do that, and we will expand that program in the future. The other thing that we have observed is when we go to these countries, cocoa growing countries, it's not just the machine. A lot of people are struggling with just the power, electricity. When we went to a cocoa growing country, they have one of our big 100-pound Malanger, but they are running with a generator. How are you going to make money just running a big generator just to keep that 65 a 100-pound machine running all the time? There's no way. So we are trying to come up with solar powered systems. So they don't have to worry about counting on the electricity. Yes, it's not going to be 24 hours, but we can find a way to keep your machines running when the sun is on, which is quite possible in many of the cocoa growing countries. So we will be making hopefully more progress in those two areas in the next year, 2022. That's all.
Thank you, Dr. Balu. Anyone else want to join this conversation? Okay, well, so Dr. Balu, are you reaching for the mute button?
I just want to share another experience. I think 2, 3 weeks ago we had a chocolate festival in Colombia, Bogota, and then we saw that one chocolate maker. He really had a nice idea, and he is from a remote village in Colombia, and he was able to convince himself that that's the right thing to do. He quit his government job, high pay job. Government job in Colombia is really a lucrative thing. He quit and then he said, I'm going to help my farm. I'm going to help my family. So he started the chocolate company in Colombia, and he really worked hard and he identified the right location in Bogota. It's really nice location. And we really we are touched by the progress he has made, and he has been using our machines, and we went and spent a day with him, and helping with all his machines, and make sure that he gets everything he wanted. So we are here to help. Just to reach out to us. We are even willing to come. If there's a need for it, we will be coming to countries. Like in January, we are going to Dominican Republic. Uh, we are also planning to see if we can go to Puerto Rico. So if it is something close by, we can travel confidently. We will be willing to do that.
Yes, and we're happy to spotlight those stories for these webinars. That's one of the reasons for the platform, is to highlight stories like who you were speaking about, Dr. Balu, to get the word out about what people are doing, and then not just to share their story for the sake of sharing their story, but to show others what's possible and how it's a big world, but really small when we hear our similarities. So we did have an itinerary, and we wanted to invite anyone to share a success story from 2021. This dialogue that we've been having actually kind of hits on all of the points on the itinerary. So, but if someone has a success that they want to share that we can all celebrate with them, you can use the raise hand feature, or just open your video and do a live raise hand, and we'd love to celebrate your success in 2021. Come on, I know we've had success.
Maybe you should just share like how Cocoa Town was, grateful for all the support and what we got in 2021 because
I
of
can,
all this support?
sure, I can do that. How appreciative we are of this community. We've done, I think, 28 or 27 or 28 of these webinars since the start of this idea. And so many people from around the world have come forward and said, I want to share my time and talent with the community. We don't charge for the webinars, and the people that come on and share don't charge. So don't charge us to do that. So we're so grateful for this open exchange of ideas, of stories. You know, some of the webinars that we've done, you know, bring up difficult conversations like the one that we're having now, and then others spotlight successes and you know, show people possibilities for added value products. I mean, we've done webinars about the equipment. We've done webinars highlighting at origin countries and things specific to those countries, what they're doing there. What else have we done? We've done post-harvest process webinars, just any topic that someone wants to come forward. And we invite anyone who's here today, if you want to be a part of this Empowering Chocopreneurs webinar series, feel free to reach out to us. We love to share your story. Or if you have some unique thing that you do that you want to teach or share, please come forward to do that. We would love to have you do that in 2022. It's been a really humbling, educational, community building experience, these Empowering Chocopreneurs webinars. I don't think when we conceived the idea, we didn't have, I don't think, and Mrs. Butler, maybe you could speak to that, I don't think we had any idea the power that it would have and the people that it would bring. And I'm personally changed by it, hearing these stories. You know, I'm the end user. Yes, I work for Cocoa Town, but I'm also a lover of bean to bar chocolate. And as a consumer, I've learned a lot about what I can do. And a goal of mine is to share that with, you know, my neighbor, my friend next door, so that they understand, because I don't think people really on the ground buying the products understand, you know, that cocoa farmers, you know, to hear him say that he makes a penny for his hard work. I know what cocoa farmers do, and it's worth a lot more than a penny. Mrs. Balu, I don't know if that's what you had in mind, but anybody want to share any challenges that they're having that maybe they can get some feedback from the people that are here?
Since I haven't heard anything, I mean, I'm just want to bring, I think for the farmers to be successful, the role of government regulations, the local government regulations play a major role. We saw some examples where it was really tough, like in Ghana, he was talking with Emilio was talking about, you know, the red tape issues with the government, and also Australia, if you remember, I mean, you know, the Brazil, we had a tough time. They were putting a lot of duties on the machines, 100% duties on machines plus also shipping. I think the government are looking into the whole thing and slowly is changing. Can anyone come forward and say what happened in 2021 that is from the government side that helping the farmers locally? Australia, could you come forward and say, do you see any change happened in Brazil government that helps the chocolate makers and farmers in Brazil?
Can you repeat the question?
Do you recall any changes that from the government side, from the government of Brazil, helping the farmers and chocolate makers in 2021? Any major change happened?
So the changes that we've been seeing here in Brazil are have been, so a lot of the efforts have been made by us, the chocolate makers, because we require better quality chocolate or cacao to make good chocolate. And so what we do a lot here in Brazil as chocolate makers is we will ask people, farmers, to send us their cocoa, and we will make chocolate and we will send it back to them with our results. So if we think it's too astringent, too acidic, if we sense mold, we go back and forth. And we've honestly been doing this with some farmers for like 5 years. And finally, they are now producing award-winning cocoa, and we are making award-winning chocolate. So I think that one of the most important things that we have done as chocolate makers in Brazil is let the farmer know that there's no such thing as bad cocoa. Cocoa is naturally good. It's just the post-harvesting, the fermenting and the drying that can cause us to make bad chocolate. And so without good cocoa, we cannot make good chocolate. And so we've let the farmer know that, because sometimes the farmer will say, oh, well, my variety is just bad. My soil is just bad. And they put the blame on the tree because they are doing what the big companies have told them to do for post-harvesting. And now we're telling them, no, can try this or this. And that's been really helping them. And really working side by side with them. So like I said, with some producers, we've been with them for 5 years, because what we may do testing and then the harvest ends and then we just kind of have to stop, and then we take the next harvest and the next harvest. And so that has really helped for us, is working directly, chocolate makers working directly with cocoa producers, but also helping the chocolate makers that are tree to bar. So we also will take chocolate from the tree to bar makers, and we will give them ideas of how they can reduce the astringency, or make a bar that that could really sell for them, by giving them the advice of of what we think is going on. So like someone mentioned here before, the collaboration, building associations. We have our Bean to Bar Brazil association that is 44 now bean to bar makers, and some of them are tree to bar as well, all collaborating, working together to try to convince the world that Brazil, or that you can produce good quality chocolate at origin, that it doesn't just have to come from America or Canada or Europe, that we can do it here as well. But it is a lot of work. And then we received some help from the government agencies. And it's taken more time to convince them, because the Nestle dollar is more than the Mission chocolate dollar. And it's taken a long time for us to convince them that we need to really move towards a more high quality cocoa industry. And so now they are putting in initiatives to help the producer understand what makes good quality chocolate. And so that's kind of where it I think has been the key for us, is the chocolate. Because if a cocoa producer never tastes chocolate, they really can never understand what's going on with their cocoa. And so when they do a batch and we send it back to them in chocolate and we say, can you taste this astringency? What can we do to lower it? And the next one is, can you taste the mold? Like what happened? Was there rain? Did you leave it out too long? And so they're starting to understand what changes they need to make now. So that's in Brazil.
Thank you, Arcelia. Nick, want to share?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I echo everything that was just said. I think that the biggest issue that we have in lots of southern nations is that we don't learn to cooperate with each other. We always see each other as competition and forget that there's a whole world out there which we need to be selling to and convincing over quality. And in fact, we don't need to really convince them, because the quality is there. The fact that we don't believe that the quality is there and that we're unable to do it is part of the big con, okay? But what we need to do is to be able to convince ourselves to be able to work together. Prime example, Arcelia said a second ago, she's working, they've got a Brazilian bean to bar makers cooperative. Bam, people are working together. They're able to work with newer makers who are coming in. That's building. They're able to work with the farmers. That's building. You can never wait for governments to do this sort of stuff because that's not what they do. They're not at our level. Their priorities are way above our dollar, way above our pay scale. So it literally needs to be done at a local level to be able to see any meaningful change. And that's when you get their interest, and that's when they come in with the big dollars. I always say that I'm not scared by competition. I'm scarred by it. Because often competition is something which is all about destroying your other fellow bean-to-bar makers. If you look at a lot of what happened in the US, especially in the early days, there was a lot of collaboration between a lot of the small bean-to-bar.
I think, I mean, Nick, you brought an interesting point. What happened in the early days in craft chocolate industry in the US, that was a lot of collaboration. I think still the majority of the people that try to help each other and collaborate, I think it's a responsibility of the established chocolate makers to maintain that culture and make sure. I mean, there are a lot of people are entering into craft chocolate. I mean, in the US and also the rest of the world. We should give them enough directions to make sure that we keep that culture, don't get contaminated. I think people who are established, who believe in that concept, it's a time to step up and make sure that we maintain that culture. It's important. I mean, another point that Arcelia brought is an interesting thing. I mean, helping the farmer to recognize, I mean, what's happening. I remember this is a lot of details farmers don't appreciate. I mean, that makes it good quality chocolate versus bad, I mean, good quality beans versus bad quality beans. I mean, once you tell them, they appreciate, they understand that, but somebody needs to tell them. I remember a story when we had a class in India. I think Mayari was the teacher. I mean, we went to a farm and then she tested the beans and said, I think you have I see the cow dung smell in that. Do you have a cow from anywhere close to the drying place? She's absolutely right. I mean, we went to the farm and we saw the cow tied to a tree very close to the drying farm. So the simple details, I mean, the farmers, they don't have a chance of knowing that. I think people like us, if we educate them, if taste their chocolate, taste their beans, and give them some tips, it'll go a long way. The farmers will really appreciate it.
We lost Nick. Hopefully he'll be able to come back. So we heard from Arcelia regarding what's happening with the government in her country. Anyone want to come forward? Anyone else want to come forward and talk about any changes in support in the government in their region?
I think somebody from Ghana is here. Okay, I mean, I heard that some things are happening at the government level in Ghana. Can you come forward and share with you? I mean, your understanding how the policies are changing in the government, encouraging the chocolate makers. I forgot who is from Ghana yet. No.
We might have lost him. There was a gentleman from Ghana.
Okay. Lynn, how is the things with the Panama? Do you see that more chocolate makers coming to make chocolate and you see any kind of a cooperative things are growing, more people are growing cocoa trees? Can you share with us what's happening in Panama?
Thanks for asking. Absolutely. So what I'm seeing is that for those that of you that know coffee, you might know that Panama has really come on strong recently with our coffee industry. And we are winning a lot of awards. And that same soil, that same terroir is what is here for the cacao trees. And for a long time, the cacao was not an important industry. It was, and then banana came in, and there's some, I don't know, conspiracy theory that perhaps the banana companies came in and brought the Manila, the Monilla, and placed it along the train tracks. I don't know if that's true or not, but basically after the banana came, cacao really got wiped out as an industry. And what we're seeing now is a resurgence, and we're seeing a resurgence in small bean to bar makers as well. And I really believe that, and we actually have several farms that are in the Cocoa of Excellence awards that are coming up in a couple of days. I'm really excited to see the results. One of my friends in Bocas del Toro is in the running, so I've got my fingers crossed. But what I'm seeing in terms of cacao, I think that the world is going to see a lot more cacao coming out of Panama. And the reason is because cacao is being used as a investment vehicle. There's a lot of environmental projects there's a handful of environmental projects being used as investment vehicles for European investors and that kind of thing. So we're seeing a lot of that, and we're seeing very, very large projects coming online. There's a company called 12 Tree, and they are a big investment company, and they're really buying up a lot of farms in Central America, planting a lot of cacao and other crops. As far as the government, I think that our MIDA, M-I-D-A, is our government agency. And I think that they're just starting to catch up and to see that cacao is, again, becoming an important commodity here in Panama. I'll say, I think one of the biggest challenges for producers who are producing bean to bar chocolate here and trying to get it to other locations around the world is that the cost of shipping is just really incredibly expensive. So for instance, my little chocolate club that I started, to send a 2-kilo box from Panama to the United States is $140. And but to send that same box to me here in Panama is basically free. And so there's a real reverse economy when it comes to us trying to get our products into the global north versus the global north getting its products to us. And I don't know if anyone else has seen that, but so that's what I can report on here in Panama. But I'm definitely seeing a lot more cacao being planted. My small plantation, I keep planting. I have over 1,000 trees now, and it's wonderful. I love it.
Thank you. Athalie, I see you have your hand raised. Forgive me if I didn't pronounce your name correctly.
You have it pronounced correct, man.
Okay.
Just in relation to everything that's been said, this is very complimentary, and I myself, one of my wins I would like to share, because you asked earlier, is receiving my Abby Melanger from Cocoa facilitated through our cooperative, and chocolate production. I've been in cocoa processing for a few years, mainly doing cocoa sticks, which we know as a tea product, more or less. But I have a passion for processing cocoa beans, and it has led me to where I am today. Being part of this webinar, part of the collective, the Cross-Atlantic Chocolate Food Cooperative. And I'm very appreciative of all this, because there's a lot of intricate details when it comes to chocolate making that has to be addressed and even to be passed on to, especially the farmers who practically just know, let's say, harvesting in a sense. When it relates to fermenting and to dry, there's a lot of information to be passed on, and there's a lot of work to be done. So so it's an exciting venture to be able to see and to be able to produce chocolate and good quality chocolate in a sense. And we do have the farmers and the cocoa that's been planted in most of those what they call origin countries has the potential to be top quality beings in a sense. The education of how to get there is what is something that's needed right now, because all these the processes from harvesting to drying is something that has to be given attention and has to be taught to them, because there's a wide range of flavors and different to say taste that can come from their procedure if it's not handled properly, and if it's handled properly. And I compliment this whole movement, and I really like to say that the Cocoa Town has done a lot, and I really appreciate the ability to acquire equipment that was so far-fetched in the past, to be able to do something or to experiment with cocoa that we grow in the origin countries. That's all that I'd like to contribute to this whole conversation, for now. Thank you.
There's one thing I want to add. I know, like a lot of you are mentioning that the cost is very prohibitive to export in small quantities, because when you ship it for the first time, if you don't have an account with the shipping companies, you will be paying full price. What we can do as a Cocoa Town is, because we export to so many countries, we have a little bit better shipping charges with the shipping companies. So maybe you just email us and we can get a shipping quote from our shipping companies. And if you think that's better than what you will be paying directly, maybe we can help you with that. We cannot promise all the time it's going to be better, but there is a chance, because some of the countries, when we import from that country, maybe we can get a better rate than when you are exporting from there using your account. So we will be willing to help you.
That is so incredibly generous of you to make that offer. I definitely like to talk to you about that, because it is one of the biggest obstacles that we're facing here. Thank you so much for your generosity.
Yeah, no problem. Because like somebody was saying they had to pay $200 for 5 kilos. That doesn't have to be that expensive.
I I noticed Vasu from India. I mean, Vasu is here from California. He is working with the farmers in India. Does he have any? Is he still here?
Yeah, Vasu, you want to come on and talk about what's going on in
I
India?
mean,
Mr. Balu, Dr. Balu, did you have a specific question for Vasu?
no, I mean, I see that a lot of new chocolate makers popping up in India. They are interested in making chocolate. I would like to see, I mean, and also, with the whole cocoa industry in chocolate I mean, in India was started by Cadbury's. Now, Cadbury's is still doing what they started with. Now, there are other companies getting into the chocolate area, and they are trying to do a similar thing that Cadbury's did. And also, chocolate makers themselves, they are working with the farmers. And then, there are some good business models developed in India. And I would like to see, I mean, what is his experience and what is his understanding of what's happening in India.
Hey, Balu. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm just, yeah, as we are talking about that, shipping is hard part here. I couldn't figure out the right way to to ship the beans from India to here. That's one part of the problem. But the other question, right? How are they doing there itself? Like by making their own chocolate, all those things. I don't see any such paradigm, especially the place where we live, like where we produce most of the chocolate. So just they are giving to Cadbury. So they have established procurement centers and everywhere, and just they have the agents. They go to farmers, and even like it's a model is that they give money upfront. Sometimes they give the money on the same day. Yes, they give this ones, but they cap the price all the time, right? So 1 year, 200 rupees per case. That means $2, $3. I mean, $2 to $3 case per kilo. They never want to go beyond that the price limit, and they tell so many reasons, whatever it is. So yes, it's farmer, agent, and company. So it's not, and I feel that they're not coming out of this circle. So I'm trying to educate some farmers and telling them how to do post harvesting things like fermentation. They are very they're very behind on the fermentation process. It seems that they don't do even heaps. Just they put the stuff in the jute bags for 3 days, then dry it somewhere anywhere and give it to Cadbury. They take it. So they take it like that only. So they don't care about the quality, the price, and even you produce a quality beans, they don't pay you a higher price, right? So on that case, so they are they are always producing the same quality beans all the time, like low quality or whatever. So yeah, my goal is to reach out at least some estates, some farmers whom I know, and telling them do this way, and we can do this thing. We can that way we can get a better market. But in the end, right? So unless we show them real opportunities for the better market, they will not be able to do. I mean, they might not be able to trust us or trust me or whatever. Right? So this is what it is going. But yeah, in the year 2022, at least I would like to make some kind of a better like a post harvesting process, at least 100 to 200 acres that I know. So then after that, maybe other farmers may incline to the same same process. At this point, yeah, this is in the circle basis. So like agent, Cadbury, and farmer is going on circles.
Yep, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Sorry, Mrs. Balu, go ahead.
I see some people joined late. Just you want to give them 5 minutes to introduce themselves if they want to, because
Yes,
we're almost,
yes. I was just about to do that. Anyone who joined late, please put your contact information in the chat if you want to be able to be contacted by anyone here to continue the networking outside of this time and space. And then also at the beginning of the event, we allowed folks to come on and say who they are, where they're from, a little bit about what they do or why they came today. So if you missed that portion of the event, please, I would use the raise hand feature so that everybody doesn't try to talk at once. It's down at the bottom in the reactions section. You can do the raise hand or open your video and virtually, let me see you, and we'll give you a moment to introduce yourself. Yes, sir. Please open your mic and tell us who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about why you're here.
I'm Saul Alvarado from Mexico. It's my first time contact with you. I interested in produce a small amount of chocolate here in the city. There is a very competitive market, and I have a contact who produce cacao beans in Tabasco. It's my first contact with this. I'm an accountant. I don't have idea what I'm into, but I'm think it's good idea to make this product. I take a course by line in Ecuador, by Papa Cacao. And I know from you, Cocoa Town, from an exposition here in the Museum of the Arts, and one people who win a prize for the chocolate give me the reference to Cocoa Town. That's why I think about you, and I will to purchase the products, one of the machinery, sorry, next year. I am about to beginning to end my financial planning for other people to join me in this enterprise. Thanks.
Thank you. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Let's see, James Frank, do you want to open your mic and say hello? Okay. How about Leah Chocolateria? Monica, I see you. I didn't see your name at the beginning. Would you like to come on camera or open your mic and say hello?
Hi, good morning or good afternoon.
Yes.
I am from Trinidad and Tobago. I live in the South. I'm a member of a cooperative. We produce chocolates. Up to last year, I did not have any cocoa on my farm. However, because I'm seeing that, you know, there is a future for cocoa because of the fact that small people are processing the cocoa into chocolates here. A lot of chocolatiers we have now. We have started clearing. We've cleared 2 acres already. We have contracted to clear another 6 acres. And the difficulty that I'm seeing is that we can't get cocoa plants in the quantities we need. So I have taken it upon myself at my age to plant all the trees, to set all the seeds, so that by next year, we'll be putting in at least 2,000 plants. This will help us have a stable supply for the cooperative to keep producing our chocolate. That's it for now.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Monica. Let's see. Roberto, would you like to come open your mic and say hello? And if you would like to share in your, oh, sorry, go ahead. Was someone trying to introduce themselves? Oh, okay, what I was going to say, if you'd like to come open your mic and say hello in your language, we invite you to do that. That would be okay. Just want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to say hello and, you know, be heard. Let's see, what other names? Mark Joyce, would you like to open your mic and say hello?
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody. We're a small bean-to-bar manufacturer in Colorado. I'm particularly interested in the economics of the production process. And I think you're absolutely right. Unless the farmer can do a value add, it's very difficult to get good prices on raw products. And so I'm just interested, I'm joining to learn more about the economics, you know, from the tree to the bar, just to better understand that. It is a highly competitive environment. particularly when you've got large chocolate makers that are selling bars for less than $2. The economics, until the consuming countries are willing to pay a reasonable amount for a bar, it's hard to generate enough value in the entire chain to pay the farmer a reasonable amount for his product. And so I see that as a real issue in getting a good price to the farmer, is the consuming countries willing to pay a reasonable price for the product rather than what they've been expecting to pay, which is a buck or two for a bar, which is just unreasonable to give value to everybody in the chain. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Let's see, Fernando, would you like to open your mic and say hello? How about Tanisha? Would you like to come on and say hello? We're getting to the top of the hour, so
Hello?
Oh, yes. Say hello.
Hi. Good morning, all. Yes, my name is Fernando. And I actually represent a family owned and operated company which is based in Lima, Peru. It's called Kilma Chocolates. And we're just, I just joined because we're just starting to import into the US. So I would like to learn, more about, what the market here is like. That's all.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Fernando. Yes, welcome. Welcome. Okay, if I've missed anyone, please feel free to open your mic or come on camera to say hello. As I said, we're getting close to the top of the hour, so.
Can I address his comment on Fernando's comment?
Sure,
about
please.
this is Arcelia. And
Hi.
so Fernando, I started making bean to bar chocolate in California and selling to the United States. Then I moved to Brazil, to a cocoa producing country that 5 years ago didn't really have cocoa sufficient to use in bean to bar chocolate. So I started making chocolate here and sending it to stores in the United States. And they didn't like it. They were very clear that it was bad quality cocoa. And so the challenge with producing in a country that produces cocoa is that we have to use the cocoa from that country, right? Brazil does not allow import unless, if you are a very big company, you can import, right? Nestle is allowed to import, but still from only certain countries. So we are forced to use the cacao that we have here in Brazil. So if we were not able to get quality cocoa, because year one of my company in Brazil, I needed to sell chocolate. There was just no question. If I didn't sell chocolate, I couldn't keep the factory open. But the US didn't accept my chocolate. So what I did, which was a very smart thing to do, is I started using flavors of that country that Americans had never tasted before. So for example, cupuaçu, baru, umbu, guarana. These are all things that are native to Brazil, that are very famous in Brazil, that are eaten every day in Brazil, but Americans had never heard of them. And so what I did is I started putting these flavors in my chocolate and sending that same chocolate, same recipe, only with these very Brazilian flavors or spices, and they loved it. They went crazy for them. And so it gave me the next 5 years to really work with the farmers to help produce better cocoa. But I was selling my chocolate during this time because I couldn't wait 5 years to sell chocolate. And so you have to find what is very unique and special in your country in terms of flavor and start adding this to the chocolate. I learned to make chocolate at Dandelion Chocolate, which is very strict on We only make cacao and sugar. And this is what I was trying to do when I moved to Brazil, but I'm not Dandelion Chocolate, and I don't have access to the best cocoa of the world. And so for me, I had to change my point of view. And if I needed to sell chocolate, I needed to do something that was different and special. And so all of you that are in these cocoa producing countries, if the quality of the cacao is not there yet, then do something else. Find what is unique in your country in terms of flavors. And foreigners love that. Americans love that, Europeans love that. And this is when your chocolate will start to get attention while you work on the quality. If this is a problem for you, while you work on the quality of the cocoa. But Brazil had a challenge with the cocoa. We worked with the farmers, we improved it a lot. And now we're able to make 2-ingredient chocolate of quality without a problem, just cocoa and sugar. But now Brazil is getting a lot of attention because we are doing so many inclusions that no one has ever tasted. So I would suggest to do something like this, because the American market, the European market, they already have very famous and old chocolate makers that are making good chocolate because they have access to the best cacao in the world. We can't compete with that. You in a cocoa growing country cannot compete with that, but you can compete with your local ingredients. So that's my recommendation for selling in the external market.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arcelia. I certainly appreciate your input. A funny thing too, I am based in Southern California, and we do inclusions that are exclusively or original from Lima, Peru, like golden berries and Mara salt from Cusco. So thank you so much for your input. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yes, Angel, I see you've raised your hand, so you're welcome to open your mic, turn on your video.
Y yuca. Ya voy a hablar.
Angel, your mic is open.
Se me activa el video. Veamos. Bueno, yo quería aprovechar ese tipo de reuniones que ustedes generan a nivel de Estados Unidos y a nivel mundial, básicamente, que plantearles la posibilidad de que ustedes generen un banco de producción de cacaos para Estados Unidos. Porque uno de los más grandes problemas que más o menos les escucho es por el tema de sabores y olores en el cacao. Y básicamente eso nosotros lo podemos coger solamente acá en las plantaciones, más no al producto que ustedes les llega. Lo interesante sería ver que ustedes puedan hacer contactos básicamente con los que fermentamos o los que tenemos plantaciones de cacao. Porque de esa manera nosotros podemos darles una excelente calidad de cacao para hacer los mejores chocolates. Tomando en cuenta que la fermentación es la parte primordial para el desarrollo de un buen chocolate. Yo no sé qué posibilidades tienen ustedes en armar este tipo de red de producción entre los que generamos materias primas y chocolates con lo que ustedes nos dan tecnología, las máquinas. Eso básicamente. No sé si me hice entender.
Arcelia, are you still there to translate for us?
Yeah, I am. So he wants to thank you for putting on these events that he thinks are really great. He wants to suggest, or he wants to know if there is any way to create some kind of group or database where people that make chocolate, people that create machines have a way to access cocoa from people like him, producers, and then give the feedback of what's happening once this cocoa gets into the machines and it becomes chocolate. He knows that the key is fermentation, but that he thinks that if this group was created, there could be a benefit to him or to people like him that produce cocoa to understand what he needs to do to change his processing.
I will open the floor to anyone in the room here to address that. Jose?
Yes, I just want to ask Fernando, where is he come from? Where is the producer? Fernando, ¿de dónde es usted? ¿De qué país nos estás hablando?
Estoy en California, pero la compañía que tenemos está basada en Lima, Perú, ¿no? Y producimos en Lima, Perú ahorita, ¿no? Es una pequeña compañía, tiene más o menos 6 años. Estamos en los mayores mercados en Perú. Y también estamos exportando a Chile, a China y a United Kingdom.
¿No están exportando a Estados Unidos?
Estamos explorando ahorita. Hemos exportado, pero no continuamente, ¿no?
Okay. Si nos deja sus datos, teléfono y correo electrónico, te lo vamos a agradecer mucho para estar en contacto.
Sí, claro,
Fernando.
por supuesto.
Sí. I just asked him about the origin from Fernando. He's from Peru, and he has a base in here in United States, but he's not exporting his cocoa beans to US. He is exporting to other countries, but he's going to leave us a telephone and email for us in order to reach him with questions, or maybe when he sends some cacao beans to US, we can try these beans and then start to talk with him about his quality and our needs, and well, could be very, very interesting relationship with him. Thank you so much.
Just to clarify it, I mean, I do not export chocolate beans. I mean, it's
cacao beans?
Chocolate bars.
No, I mean cacao beans. We're talking about cacao beans.
No, I mean, cacao beans. I do not export beans.
I
export chocolate bars.
Sorry, I didn't get it. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Chocolate bars.
We are so interested in the beans because you are talking about the quality that we need, and in order to create a group or of importers, I mean that for high quality beans, we would like to know your beans. We would like to know what kind of beans and what kind of quality you have, and maybe we can have a good relationship with you.
Well, certainly. I mean, I am open to that. I'm certainly open to that. But just to clarify it, I mean, we actually manufacture chocolate bars, and also chocolate for the food service industry. And we also work with USAID in certain farm locations with cacao growers. USAID just is a United States international aid program, and they work with farmers where they used to grow the coca, and they have changed it to cacao beans, to cacao plants. That's to eradicate the coca growers from the regions in which the families, when were I mean, it is for the lack of a better word, I mean, it's a dangerous situation when you grow coca plants and you always and it's an environment in which drug traffickers are involved. So USAID help the families to change from coca plants to cacao trees.
Okay, thank you so much, Fernando.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you. So as we start to wind down, I invite everyone, if you haven't already, put your contact information in the chat if you're open to being contacted by anyone who was here today. And we will share that information with those who have registered for the event. It's 12:08, so normally we try to end promptly at 12, but I know this is a unique situation where we've brought you all together and you get to talk to each other. And so we'll stay on for a few more minutes to give you the opportunity to get your contact information in there. Mrs. Balu, do you want to, we had wanted to reserve a little bit of time. Should I mention that, Mrs. Balu? Mom.
Yeah, first, I want to thank everyone because we had a good year in the sense we could get couple of grants. The this year because of all the support from customers like you from around the world who made our business, to help us, survive in spite of the pandemic. So we thank you all for all your help and support. And as a thank you, okay, you want to, announce that surprise?
No, Mrs. Balu, that's your gift.
No, it's a, it's company gift, right? It's from Kokota. It's all,
No.
we are all community, okay? So, like I said, we were fortunate to be in USA because last year we had that PPP program, it's called the Paycheck Protection Program. So the government gave us some support to, survive the pandemic. And this year we were fortunate to have some grants. So what we thought to end the year, because in some countries still it has not opened up, and we know people are struggling all over the world. We want to give a thank you not just in words but in also in action. So whoever joined today, we are going to send a coupon code for $50 for anything. Even if you buy for $50 or $25 with the shipping, it comes to $50. It's completely free. Or anything you want to buy, you will get a $50 off. And you have 2 months to use it. You don't have to use it right now because I know everyone is busy with the Christmas production and they're not thinking of what they need to buy now. But we will give you till end of February to use this coupon and get your small gift. I know it's not a big gift, but we have about 25 people. With 50 people registered, I see like about 23 or 24 people stayed. So you all get the $50 off. Hope it helps you in a little way. So thank you all for your support.
Thank you, Mrs. Balu. So we had wanted to allot a little bit of time for just acknowledging any losses in 2021. I know it's I was trying to do it the other way, do the losses first and then end with the happy part, but it was sort of magnified in our consciousness over the last couple of weeks. Dr. Mrs. Bala visited Colombia and learned of the tragic loss of someone that was very influential and dear in the Bean to Bar community in Colombia. And forgive me, Mrs. Bala, can you say his name? I know first name, Astonich, but yeah, he was lost to COVID. So we just wanted to take a moment to, honor if you've suffered any losses in 2021 of family or people in the industry. I would say feel free to put their name in the chat, and we'll just take just a brief moment of silence to reflect and honor the lives of those people that have moved on in 2021. Okay, thank you all. Mrs. Balu, would you like to have the closing remarks? It's 12:13. We'd love to stay all day, but I know some people stayed up late and got up really early, and so we want to be honoring of everyone's time. Mrs. Balu?
Yes, okay, sorry. Yeah, thank you all. We wish you all the happy holidays and, successful 2022. And if any help we can do from Cocotown, we'll be glad to help. And I hope something, better comes out of this networking, like, talking about some initiative. Some countries, they can join together. And also, Nick Davis is creating this thing, and Arcelia is helping a lot of people in Brazil, and then Dr. Ogata is helping in Mexico. So everyone is helping their community. So thank you, and then keep helping, and let's all grow together.
Mrs. Balu, will you turn on your camera so we can see you?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I didn't realize my camera was off. Sorry, because I closed. Okay. Yeah. Thank you all, and have a happy holidays. And then we wish you, successful 2022. And we look forward to seeing you more. And then feel free to contact us through email or Zoom, or we have the Skype cocotown.com. You are welcome to contact us. And
If everyone would like to open their video and their mic just to say goodbye, you're welcome to do that so we can all see each other, and it's nice to see one another.
Goodbye. Thank you for the video. I enjoyed it as always.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. You guys are awesome.
1 second.
Happy
Wait till
holidays,
all of you
everyone.
on the camera, then I think
Hasta luego
it will
todos.
record everyone here. Thank you.
Oh, yes, just stay for a moment so we can have it recorded. Yes, that's nice, Mrs. Balu.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of our cacao ceremony. When we can see each other, it creates a more sacred circle.
Un gusto. Hasta luego desde Ecuador. Que les vaya bien. Un placer.
Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto también.
Todos los de México.
Gracias. Gracias, Saúl. Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto.
Hasta luego de Panama.
Lynn, it was great to see you and stay in this forum, in this webinar. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias a todos, porque es una oportunidad muy buena estar en este webinar y es un gusto
Saludos a
conocerlos a
todos desde
todos.
aquí, Guinea Ecuatorial.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you, everyone, for coming on so we could see you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, take care, man.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.